Beginning the summons. The hall of the Galactic Embassy was so silent you could hear the pulse of the oxygen filters echoing through the steel beams. Hundreds of humans stood shoulder to shoulder, surrounded by towering alien envoys from dozens of worlds. Holographic banners shimmered in blue light overhead, reading, "Peace Bonding Ceremony, Human-Vraxian Alliance." None of us truly knew what we had signed up for. The invitation had been vague, a historic event to strengthen relations between species. When I first received mine, I assumed it would be diplomatic work, maybe translation assistance. I never imagined it would lead to this, a public selection ritual between alien warriors and human candidates. And she was the reason for it all. Commander Serextel, the Vraxian general who had led her kind through a century of interstellar wars. Now she stood before us, 7 feet tall, armor like molten obsidian, and eyes glowing faintly violet beneath a crown of silver spines. Every movement she made radiated a controlled, lethal grace. The ambassador's voice trembled as he spoke. Commander Serextal seeks a bond partner, to symbolize trust between our species. As per her culture's code, she will choose freely from those who volunteer. But none of us volunteered. Her gaze swept over the crowd like a blade. No one dared meet her eyes. Even the soldiers who'd fought in alien skirmishes looked away. The Vraxians were notorious for their strength, and their bonding rituals were rumored to be both spiritual and biological. Her voice, when it came, carried like thunder wrapped in silk. "Who among you dares stand beside me?" Silence. I don't know what possessed me, curiosity, defiance, or sheer stupidity, but something in me stirred. I'd spent my entire life feeling invisible. Always the technician behind the scenes, never the hero. But in that moment, something primal pushed through the fear. My heart pounded. My legs moved before my mind caught up. I stepped forward. Gasps rippled through the hall. The other humans stared at me as if I'd just volunteered to walk into a black hole. Commander Serextal's eyes fixed on me, piercing, unblinking. "What is your name, human?" "Elias," I managed to say. "Elias Varin." She tilted her head slightly, a gesture I later learned meant intrigue. "Then Elias Varin," she said slowly, "you are brave or foolish. Either way, the choice is made." A wave of violet light pulsed through her armor, and suddenly, I felt a surge of heat behind my eyes, a strange connection like static electricity brushing my mind. From that moment my fate was sealed. Middle, the tests of trust. The next days blurred into a haze of tests and rituals. I was taken aboard the Vraxian flagship, a sleek black vessel orbiting Earth like a living creature. Every corridor hummed with alien technology, walls that breathed, doors that opened with a thought, and light that pulsed with mood. Commander Serextal met me each morning for what she called integration exercises. They involved both physical and mental challenges, learning their gestures, interpreting their telepathic cues, and sparring in zero-gravity chambers. I wasn't a soldier. My arms shook after every session. My mind ached after every telepathic attempt. Yet every time I faltered, she was there, not mocking but observing, as though studying the limits of humanity itself. "You are fragile," she said one morning after I collapsed mid-sparring, chest heaving. "Yet you endure longer than many of my warriors would." I wiped the sweat from my brow and forced a grin. Guess we humans are stubborn like that. For the first time I saw it, the faintest curve at the corner of her lips. A smile restrained but real. Later that day, she allowed me into the Vraxian meditation chamber, a place where warriors focused their energy before battle. The air shimmered with blue mist, filled with the hum of bioluminescent crystals. "When we bond," she explained, Our essences merge. Thoughts, fears, instincts. It is not love as you understand it. It is alignment. Her voice softened. Few survive the process when the minds are too different. So you're saying, I might die. She turned toward me, eyes glowing brighter. It is possible. My throat tightened. And yet you chose me. Yes. She stepped closer, her aura pulsing faintly. Because you did not look away. You faced me when others trembled. That is rare among your kind. I didn't know how to respond. But for the first time, the fear began to mix with something else. Admiration, maybe even fascination. The incident. On the 5th day aboard the flagship, everything changed. An alarm split the silence. A deep, echoing klaxon. The lights turned crimson. The ship trembled. A Vraxian guard burst into the chamber, shouting in his guttural tongue. Commander Sarek expression darkened. She looked to me. Pirates. Outer Ring raiders. Stay behind me. Before I could answer, the ceiling shook violently. A section of the corridor exploded inward, and armored figures poured in, firing plasma bolts. Sarek moved like lightning, her twin energy blades igniting with a roar. Every swing was poetry in motion, carving through attackers with terrifying precision. But one bolt grazed her side. She staggered, her armor sparking. Instinct took over. I dove forward, grabbed the fallen weapon of a dead guard, and fired blindly toward the pirates. I didn't hit much, but it was enough to draw their attention away from her. She turned toward me, eyes blazing. For a moment, I thought she'd be furious that I disobeyed her command. Instead, she said through gritted teeth, Elias behind me now. Together we pushed through the smoke, sealing the breach as the last of the raiders were repelled. When the silence returned, she slumped to one knee, clutching her side. Without thinking, I caught her arm. You're hurt. Her armor retracted, revealing a wound glowing faintly blue. Alien blood. She looked at my hand gripping hers, then met my eyes. Why did you not run? I swallowed hard. Because you didn't. For several seconds she said nothing. Then, slowly, she pressed her hand to my chest, directly over my heart. You are unlike the others, she whispered. Perhaps this bond will not destroy us after all. The bonding. When the battle ended, the ceremony resumed, not as a spectacle, but as something sacred and quiet. I stood with her in the center of the meditation chamber. The air was thick with energy. Crystals glowed in rhythm with our heartbeats. This is your last chance to withdraw, she said. Once begun, the link cannot be undone. I met her gaze. If I've come this far, I'm not turning back. She extended her hands, palms glowing with swirling violet light. Then open your mind, Elias Varin. The world dissolved. I felt my consciousness stretch, memories flashing before me like fragments of light. My childhood, my fears, every moment of weakness. I also felt hers. Images of endless war, burning worlds, the weight of command. Beneath all that, I sensed something deeper. Loneliness. Our minds collided, clashed, then began to intertwine. My body trembled as her energy surged through me, rewriting every nerve with alien resonance. When the light faded, I was on my knees, gasping. She stood over me, eyes softer now. It is done, she said quietly. You are part of me, and I of you.